For the ruins of the New York Jets, tremendous transformation replaces creeping change. The NYJ fired general manager Joe Douglas on Tuesday, 6 weeks after firing former head coach Robert Saleh, after a 2-3 start to a season driven by high expectations. This move marked a complete overhaul of an organization that was supposed to end its 14-year playoff drought in 2024 at least. Although Douglas' contract was scheduled to end in 2025, the Jets are now starting again. Douglas will be temporarily replaced by former Cleveland Browns general manager Phil Savage for the rest of this season. Owner Woody Johnson said, "Today, I informed Joe Douglas he will no longer serve as the New York Jets general manager. I want to thank Joe for his commitment to the Jets over the last 6 years and wish him and his family the best moving forward. We'll now start the process of finding a new general manager." After the 2019 NFL Draft, Douglas was hired to succeed Mike Maccagnan. However, he finishes his tenure with a 30-64 record and no winning seasons. He has had front office positions with the Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Bears, and Baltimore Ravens. Undoubtedly, his term wasn't entirely unsuccessful. The pinnacle was reached 2 years ago when Douglas selected running back Breece Hall, linebacker Jermaine Johnson II, wideout Garrett Wilson, and cornerback Sauce Gardner in the much-heralded 2022 selection. All have been outstanding players, but Johnson tore his Achilles in September after a 2023 Pro Bowl performance. Determining whether and how to keep these players available for contract extensions after this season will be a dilemma for the team's next general manager. Additionally, Douglas courted pass rushers Will McDonald-IV and Bryce Huff, who was not selected in the draft, but inked big free agency contracts with Philadelphia earlier this year, and nickelback Michael Carter too. But like many unsuccessful front office leaders, Douglas was eventually undone by failing to find a solution for the quarterback position. Instead of building the roster around Sam Darnold's estimable potential, he decided to move on. Instead of selecting all-pro players like linebacker Micah Parsons, wideout Jamar Chase, or offensive lineman Penei Sewell, Zach Wilson was chosen as the second overall choice of the 2021 draft. However, the club traded for 4-time league MVP Aaron Rodgers in 2023 since the BYU product was awful in his first 2 seasons. The Achilles injury that sidelined Rodgers 4 snaps into his team debut last year, the continued inability to provide him with proper protection, the belief that he has too much influence over team operations, the offensive snag caused by the hiring of his excellent friend Nathaniel Hackett, who is now only the coordinator in name due to the unit's ongoing efficacy issues, and Rodgers' own declining abilities due to age and growing injuries were all consequences of that. Douglas added several of Rodgers' old Green Bay Packers colleagues in addition to Hackett, but the Jets have yet to benefit much from their services. The team's decision to let go of Huff, one of the best situational pass rushers in the league, if not an every-down player, and trade for Eagles linebacker Hasten Reddick, who eventually hung on for the first half of the season after he and the Jets couldn't agree on a longer-term contract, didn't help matters. Given that some agreement might have been forged as part of the conditions that cost Douglas a conditional third-round selection, the Jets were severely criticized for the Reddick impasse. Even though it became clear that the offense was limited and that Rodgers had not returned to his MVP form, New York managed to win 2 of its first 3 games before disintegrating. Saleh lost his job after 2 further defeats, and the team has now lost 1-5 under interim coach Jeff Ulbrich. Even though Rodgers, who turns 41 next month, has said that he intends to play in 2025, the last year of his deal, Woody Johnson will now be searching for a new general manager/coach combination and maybe another quarterback. The Jets' subsequent decision-makers will have to decide what to do with recently acquired wide receiver Davante Adams in addition to the team's mandate to win its first Super Bowl since its illustrious 1968 campaign. They will also have to deal with additional changes to the offensive line and defense, which is expected to lose several players, including Reddick, to free agency next year. The Jets have just begun their bye week after losing 7 of their last 8 games, including a humiliating home loss to the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday. It's impossible to predict what else could change after it.